guys, Dame Mediation. Wanted to talk a little bit more about the soul. I keep seeing lots of things talk about the soul, especially soulmates keeps being this thing. Now, one thing I will say about soulmates is the idea of soulmates is often a romantic idea. Now, there's a lot of notions out there. Soulmates are soul connections that you have, and there's lots of different types of soul connections, like soul families and groups, and you know, there's different ways we connect. Soulmates aren't necessarily romantic. They are pretty much all the people that are significant in our lives. Even that person you hate, even that person who annoys you, they are probably like a close soulmate to you as well. They can have lots of different impact in your life. They can be your parents, they can be your children, they can be your enemy. They can be anyone in your life that is significant, who has an impact on your life. Whether it's a Marmite or Vegemite, yes, you know, you really love it or you really hate it, but there are somebody who has an effect on you. And that tends to mean that they are your soulmate. They can be somebody that you meet once and have a moment, and that moment brings you clarity. That can be a soulmate. The whole idea that all of them are romantic, all of them are good, and all of them are long term, not true. When people talk about soulmates in general, is that, especially romantic ones, the reason why they want a soulmate or a twin soul or all of these things is because they want to guarantee that it will work. And there's nothing that guarantees it will work, regardless of whether they're a soulmate, whether they're a twin soul, whether they're any other different soul connection. I also want to break up that there's also this whole idea. I was reading, someone asked me about soul ties, and I was reading up because I hadn't really heard about it, but actually it is kind of pretty much the same thing as soulmates, but also they introduced this idea of you can be connected to, you can be tied to somebody through sex or relationships. So I kind of want to separate a little bit, because I think we're getting into the realm of everybody. There is this theory that, you know, you should be careful about who you have sex with because you're bonded to them. And yes, you can to a point bond with somebody through sexual contact or through different types of relationship. It doesn't mean that you're bonded at soul level. Soul level often is already there, it just needs to be awakened. And it doesn't make it better or worse, it just makes it as it is. But that doesn't mean that it's everybody that you kind of meet, everybody that you connect to. It just means that it's, you know, because you can be connected through energetically in many different ways. Some people are emotionally connected. It's connected to your lower 3 chakras, connected to your higher 3. You can be connected to your soul. Sometimes you can be both. But there's lots of different ways you connect to somebody. It's not as simple as saying, you know, oh yes, everybody that I like is a soulmate. Everybody that I have sex with, I'm tied to them. It's not really, you're not really tied to them. It just means that you have a connection with them. And sometimes people bond a lot easier than other people do. So that comes on to cord cutting. So I'm going to do a video about that as well, because I think there seems to be some confusion. So maybe people need to watch this together with it. You aren't necessarily always bonded at the soul, but also it doesn't mean that that person is more or less important to you. The way the soul really is looking at it is looking at a matter of experience and growth. And that's not a human perspective, that's a soul perspective. And the soul is looking for something slightly different. So it doesn't look at good or bad, it just says, actually, I need this for a complete experience and I'm missing it, so actually, it wasn't very good last time, I need more experience, so show me this, show me you can get out of patterns, and shows you the challenges that you need to kind of go through. That's all. So I just wanted to brief video on it. I hope anyone that wants to know more about soul connections, and drop me a note because it's another one of my subjects I really love.